Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So today we are going to be having a look at the creamy fragrances I have in my collection. So get yourself comfortable, grab a wee drink and a snack if you would like to, and let's get started. So first up today we have Lindardi Intense from Givenchy in this really pretty bottle right here. Let me know what you think of this bottle, but I think it's really nice. I think I prefer this bottle over the original Lindardi. We have black pepper in the top notes, we have tuberose, sesame and orange blossom in the middle notes, and we have vanilla, patchouli and vetiver in the base notes. So I noticed how creamy this fragrance was as soon as I got it, and it's really different to the original one in that sort of sense, because the original Lindardi, it's more floral to me and like fruity with a kind of slightly sharp nature to it. Whereas this fragrance is definitely a lot thicker, definitely a very creamy fragrance indeed, and I think it's probably due to the fact that you have not only your tuberose in there, but they've added in vanilla as well. And I would say those two notes are probably the things that I get the most from this perfume. You do also get the orange blossom in here as well, adding to the sweetness overall. And it's just such a good creamy fragrance. Unfortunately, this is actually a perfume I've been kind of taking a break from lately. You may have seen that in the video I did the other month there about perfumes I'm not loving so much. So I kind of went off this one briefly. I'm still having like a break from it. In fact, this is the first time I've smelt this one in a wee while. It is actually very nice. I think just because it's so thick and creamy, sometimes it can be a little bit nauseating if you're not quite in the mood for it, you know what I mean? Just because it's so rich, it's really not holding back this fragrance. It's very, very thick, creamy, rich, quite sweet as well. Really gorgeous fragrance, but I think I kind of do have to be in the right mood for that. Otherwise, it would be a bit too much, and I would certainly say come the height of summer, I'm probably not going to be wearing this one too much because, you know, if the weather was really warm or even hot, something as intoxicating as this would probably be a bit too much for me. Personally, let me know what you think of this one in the comments, but it's certainly a fantastic creamy fragrance, like without a doubt. It's probably my favourite from the whole Lindardi line. I want to say that the sesame is adding to the creaminess as well, which it possibly is. You can definitely smell that, and it gives it almost like a cakey nature to it. Almost if you imagine a sesame bun or something like that, you know what I mean? But that's definitely in there quite strong as well. So overall, it's just a very thick, sweet, creamy fragrance. Really very nice, but not one that I've been wearing an awful lot recently. And that one is Lindardi Intense from Givenchy. Next up today we have this beauty here, Hypnotic Poison, the EDT from Dior. And this is a fantastic creamy fragrance. I've actually been really enjoying this one lately. It is creamy, it's sweet, it's got substance to it, but it's not as heavy as Lindardi Intense. This one is actually a bit more easygoing, I would say, a bit more easy to wear. More suited to the springtime actually, I would say, and maybe even the summer if it was mild, you know, not too hot. So the main accords of this fragrance, we have vanilla, sweet, almond, fruity, nutty, powdery, woody, coconut, white floral and also balsamic. And the notes themselves, we have coconut, plum, apricot in the top notes. We have rosewood, jasmine, caraway, tuberose, rose and lily of the valley in the heart notes. And in the base notes we have vanilla, almond, sandalwood and also musk. So really nice fragrance. For some reason I always forget that there's coconut in here. I don't really know if I can smell the coconut that much. Let me know if you get coconut in this perfume. Maybe I do up on the first like spray, and actually when I smell it out the bottle like that, like now I'm thinking about it, I can pick up on the coconuts. But on the whole, I wouldn't really say it's something I notice about this one. For me, it's more about the almond, the vanilla, definitely also the sandalwood in here. And I do think that it's that sandalwood with the kind of fruity plum that's giving it that creamy nature, and with the vanilla as well, of course. It definitely has that almost Play-Doh-like nature to it, which I personally couldn't stand when I first tried it, but now I would say it's something I really like about it. It's a fragrance that's grown on me a lot. And I do also have one of the newer versions of it, so actually I have a feeling when I first tried it, like a tester of it, I have a feeling that the tester was the older formulation, so I found it actually a bit too much and quite nauseating because I think it was stronger. But actually now my bottle is like the newer formulation, so it's a bit more easygoing, it's not quite as intense, so actually I find it a little bit more, a little bit milder, if you know what I mean. But anyway, that is a beautiful creamy scent for sure. And there's something about this that's quite addicting to me. Like, the level of sweetness in here is perfection for me. It's not too much. It doesn't really smell synthetic to me at all, despite the Play-Doh nuance going on in there. But overall, this is just a beautiful, like, nutty, creamy, gourmand, dessert-like fragrance. It's just absolutely wonderful, you guys. Let me know what you think of this one in the comments. I know it can be fairly polarizing, you know, I've heard mixed opinions on this one, but it's certainly a really gorgeous, creamy, woody, sweet, slightly fruity, floral. It kind of has a bit of everything going on in here, really, doesn't it? I would say for me personally, the main things I pick up on is the sandalwood, the vanilla, the almond, the slight creamy fruitiness from the plum as well, and it's just a really nice one. I would definitely recommend checking this one out if you're looking for a sweet, creamy fragrance, and that is Hypnotic Poison, the EDT from Dior. Next today we have Zadig and Voltaire. This is her in this very interesting looking bottle, very unique. I don't know if it's my favourite type of bottle, to be honest. Something about it looks a little bit unfinished to me, but I know lots of people do like this bottle, so let me know what you think in the comments. But this is certainly a very creamy fragrance. So the main accords we have in this fragrance is vanilla, sweet, woody, lactonic, balsamic, powdery, warm spicy, soft spicy, and also musky. And, you know, funnily enough, you guys, I don't pick up on that at all. So the way that they've listed the main accords on Fragrantica, with vanilla and sweet being at the top, I totally don't pick up on that myself. So to me, this is a very like woody, slightly nutty fragrance that's not very sweet at all, and I don't really get any vanilla. So yeah, I'm not quite sure I personally pick up on those main accords myself. Like, to me, I wouldn't really describe this fragrance in that way, but that's what it says on Fragrantica nonetheless. And I will just read out the actual notes of this perfume for you as well. So we have pink pepper, silkwood blossom, jasmine sambac, whipped cream, vanilla, chestnut, sandalwood, and cashmere wood. So for me personally, I definitely pick up on the chestnut without a doubt, and I pick up on that whipped cream note, but to me it almost comes off slightly like, you know, shaving foam, that type of like slightly bitter, aerated, foamy kind of smell. So that's sort of what I get from this fragrance. Again, I don't really get the sweetness, I don't really get the vanilla and things like that, so it's not one of my favourites. I have to say, I'm not a big fan of this fragrance myself, but I do know many people love this, so I wanted to feature it in this list. It's definitely a creamy fragrance, and many people pick up on that lovely sort of creamy vanilla, whipped cream, vanilla cream kind of smell, but it's just, that's not what I pick up on personally, so it's not my favourite. But I would suggest giving it a try anyway, because I know many of you do like this. I've heard in the comments, many of you like this perfume. I know it's a very well loved perfume in our fragrance community as well. So I'm sure it's a great fragrance, it just didn't quite work with my nose for whatever reason. So there's a few things in here that I think are contributing to that very distinctive kind of creamy texture. I would say the whipped cream for sure. You have that sandalwood in here as well, giving it a real creamy woodiness. For me personally, I really get the whipped cream and also the sandalwood in here. A little bit of the other notes as well, but for me it's mainly those two kind of notes. So if you're a big fan of your woody fragrances and things like that, then I would maybe give this one a try. Again, it's not really one of my favourites. There's also something in here that really reads quite masculine to me. I'm not quite sure why. I think it might be that like shaving foam kind of smell that I get from this. And actually there's something in here that's reminding me of like men's aftershave kind of smell. But again, this is just me. I know many people like this fragrance, but I did want to mention it today because it is a very creamy one. Lots of people get a sweet, vanilla, milky kind of smell from this as well. So I didn't want to eliminate this one from the list just because I don't really like it, because I know many other people would like this perfume, you know? But anyway, that's Zadigan Voltaire. This is her, a very popular perfume in the fragrance community. Not one of my favourites, but it's a very creamy scent nonetheless. Next up today we have Fiori from Armani in this beautiful bottle here. And this is definitely one of the creamiest fragrances I have in my whole collection. And it's just wonderful for this time of year as well. So the main accords of this fragrance, we have vanilla, fruity, citrus, powdery, rose, musky, floral, woody, soft, spicy, and white floral. And the notes themselves, we have blackcurrant, green mandarin, neroli, rose, patchouli, oak moss, vanilla, and white musk as well. So to me, the main things I get from this fragrance are those fruity notes with the vanilla as well. There's a really nice creamy, slightly powdery texture to this fragrance that's actually quite unique. So I've never come across a fragrance with that very creamy but subtly powder nature to it. So it's really very nice. The only thing that I am sometimes, you know, not the biggest fan of with this fragrance is the level of sweetness. So it is very, very sweet to me personally. And I'm not always in the right mood for that. It's sometimes a bit much for me, but it is a beautiful fragrance nonetheless. So beautiful, you guys. Really, it's a very romantic fragrance, very, very pretty, very happy as well, I would say. So it's quite a good fragrance, very creamy, very sweet, with sort of a sweet, citrusy nuance in an orangey way, coming from the neroli combined with the green mandarin. It definitely has a very orangey, like marshmallow-like feeling to it as well. Just such a nice one. I feel like if you're already a big fan of Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy, then you would definitely like this, because actually they're kind of similar in many ways. They have the same kind of sweetness, a similar texture actually, and they both remind me of like orange blossom and rosy like marshmallows. And they're both quite creamy. So anyway, that's Fiori from Armani. A really nice, sweet, feminine, flirty kind of fragrance, and it's definitely very creamy. Next up today, I actually have like the perfect fragrance for this video topic, because we actually have a fragrance called Milk, and that is from Commodity. So this is Milk in the expressive strength. Commodity offer 3 different strengths of their whole perfume line. So with all of their fragrances, you can choose a soft, medium, or bold strength, and this is the medium strength of Milk. So of course this is quite a creamy fragrance, as you would expect from the name. So I will just go through the main accords. First of all, we have woody, sweet, musky, powdery, vanilla, lactonic, aromatic, and amber. And the notes of this perfume, we have milk, musk, marshmallow, mahogany woods, and also tonka bean. You get the creamy nature of this fragrance when you first spray it. But actually during the dry down, it becomes a lot woodier in my opinion, and it just becomes quite a sweet, woody, dry kind of scent. Oh, it's so nice when you first spray it. You definitely get that like cold milk kind of scent to this when you first spray it. There is also that sort of nice marshmallow-like quality in there. You might think that this is quite a light, airy fragrance. I wouldn't actually say that it is. I would say it's quite heavy overall and quite woody. It definitely has a lot of substance to it. I mean, if you were looking for a lighter, airier type of scent, you could actually go for the personal version of this, which is their lightest strength. It comes in a white bottle and it's actually not going to be as heavy as this. So I would maybe suggest checking that one out. You can get their sample set with all three. But I wanted to get the medium strength just because I wanted it to be a little bit stronger. And that one is Milk from Commodity Fragrances. Next up today we have this beauty here in my collection, the original Narciso EDP from Narciso Rodriguez. Now I have had this one in my collection for quite a wee while. I'm pretty sure it was a blind buy actually, and I really like this one, particularly for this time of year, although I do think it's suitable for all year round. Now this is a nice creamy fragrance if ever there was one. So the main accords of this fragrance, we have woody, musky, white floral, powdery, aromatic, lactonic, rose, animalic and earthy. And the notes of this fragrance, we have gardenia, white rose, musk, cedarwood and also vetiver. So this fragrance to me, it's just wonderful, you guys. I know quite a few of you do like this one and it is wonderful. So it's just got that beautifully blended combination of your musks, your woods, and also your gardenia as well. So it's a very creamy fragrance. I don't know if I would say that it's sweet. I mean, to me it is kind of sweet in a very natural way, in the way that your skin might be slightly sweet, in just the most natural way possible. That's the kind of sweetness that this perfume has to me. It's just wonderful. It really harmonizes with your skin chemistry, and that's where it blossoms the most in my opinion. That's when I've really noticed this one shine, actually when I've been wearing it for a few hours and it starts to kind of bounce off my skin. That is, you know, that's when I've really noticed this one, but it is, oh, it's just stunning, you guys. Love this one so much. This would make a fantastic signature scent actually, because it's not gonna annoy you. Like, it's not one of those fragrances that would end up giving you a headache or being too sweet or too anything really. Overall to me, this is just a beautiful, woody, creamy floral fragrance with your prominent muskiness as well, that really blends beautifully with your sort of skin chemistry. Just a wonderful fragrance, you guys. It lasts really well as well, and I can always smell it on myself throughout the day. So that is another beautifully creamy scent in my collection. I would recommend giving it a try. Don't know if I'd recommend blind buying it though, even though I did. I'm usually quite good at judging that for myself though, because I already loved so many from the line and I could judge it from looking at the notes and things like that, but just use your own judgment and always try and sample first. That's what I would probably say. But it's just really lovely. I'm quite glad that I got the bigger size of this one because I've heard rumours here and there that it's being discontinued. And that one is Narciso EDP from Narciso Rodriguez. Next up today we have one of my all-time favourites in my collection, and that is Black Opium, the original EDP from YSL, and I have mine in the special edition packaging, really cute with this sort of leopard effect. I am now onto this bottle because I've basically finished my other bottle, so I'm now onto bottle number 2 of Black Opium. Now this is definitely a beautiful creamy scent, you guys. It's so beautiful. Wow, this fragrance is just wonderful, you guys. I cannot get enough of this. There's a beautiful creaminess in here as well that I just love. So you have your fruitiness in here, you have your florals as well, like your jasmine and orange blossom. But you have your prominent vanilla and coffee notes as well, with some licorice in the base. This is so Moorish, it's so addicting to me, and it definitely has that nice creamy coffee sort of feeling about it. Just wonderful, you guys. Now this is the kind of fragrance that I like to wear pretty much any time. I like wearing this one to work. I do also like this fragrance for a date situation. I find it's a very alluring, flirtatious, yummy kind of fragrance. You know, it's one of those nice ones. It just kind of makes me feel great as well about myself. It lifts my mood, and it's just so delicious. I really am a fan of this one, and I did recently get the Illicit Green, which I also like. It's also kind of a creamy scent actually, because it has that fig note in there as well. But anyway, that's Black Opium, the original, a beautiful, sweet, creamy coffee vanilla fragrance. And last up today, but by no means least, we have Juliette Has. Now this is a beautiful creamy scent as well. It's kind of similar in some ways to my Hypnotic Poison EDT. I have compared them actually in a video where I talked about some Hypnotic Poison dupes, you know. I will try and remember to leave a card to that video up here in case you are interested. But this fragrance, I don't know if I prefer this one over Hypnotic Poison. I probably do actually, because this fragrance has a bit more depth to it, it's a bit more complex. Sorry about the seagulls cackling away there. This is just such a stunning fragrance, you guys. I mean, it's such a good example of a sweet sandalwood fragrance as well. And this fragrance almost has something slightly fizzy about it. It's got a really interesting texture. I don't know if I'd class it as powdery, but it's definitely got something about it. So the main accords of this perfume, we have powdery, sweet, vanilla, white floral, woody, fruity, caramel, tuberose, warm spicy, and balsamic. And the notes themselves, we have raspberry, geranium, neroli, tuberose, iris, orange blossom, and jasmine, and then vanilla, caramel, sandalwood, heliotrope, white musk, and also patchouli in the base notes. So to me this fragrance is very creamy. From the sandalwood you also have that tuberose in there. And you have the caramel as well, which I would say is quite prominent, although it's very well balanced. It was funny as well because when I first tried this, I almost thought that there was something slightly nutty in here, but there aren't actually any nutty notes listed, so not quite sure about that. But I would say if you already like Hypnotic Poison EDT, then you're probably going to like this one as well, because they're sort of a similar like fragrance family to me. But this is just another beautiful creamy scent, very unusual, very Moorish, very addicting, and that one is Juliette Has. So there we have it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what are some of your favourite creamy fragrances. Let me know if you like any of the ones that I talked about today. Also, I just want to say thank you so much for actually being here. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you for leaving your comments. Thank you for subscribing. Take care, and I cannot wait to see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!